Greetings internet, my name is Chris and I want to show you a few changes I've made to my Nightblade build. So almost immediately after I'd posted the video, I made some quite significant changes to the gear setup. So you can see now I'm actually wearing the Lorkhaj helmet instead of the Turks Pact, as you can see here. And the reason why I'm wearing the Lorkhaj helmet is because I tried out several helmets. I tried out the Lorkhaj helmet, I tried out, where is it? I think I may still have it in my inventory. Here it is. I tried the Nightfighter helmet, and I also, tried out the Turks Pact helmet, or two-piece Turks Pact. And I compared the DPS, and I get the most DPS with the Lorkhaj. And you may think that activating the overkill makes the sustain really horrible. You can see it says increases the cost of all abilities by 33%. But in fact, it's quite easy to sustain your magicka because you have siphoning attacks. I also did something else. Swapped out my weapons with Master and Maelstrom weapons. This is the one weapon I got when I completed the Maelstrom Arena, a restoration staff. And since I use my my off hand or my off bar for DPS as well with the sap essence, it's quite nice to have a Maelstrom staff since this gives me spell crit. So see, I have about the same crit on both bars, which is quite nice. Sitting there at 50. A few other things I did was I changed the willpower rings. The stamina is really nice to have in certain situations, but when you're going for max DPS, it's better to have as much magic as possible. As you can see, I cane on all of them now, which puts me at 44.7 thousand magicka, which is insane. That's just an insane amount of magicka. But again, with the siphoning abilities on my bar and that sort of stuff, it's quite easy to reach that amount of magicka, because as I showed you last time, the magicka flood increases your magicka by 8%, and then you have inner light that increases your magicka by a further 5%. So you can see there's quite a lot of good things with that. I wanted to show you some other things as well, the weave that I use with this setup now. And I also want to show you just quickly one of the sets I'm going to be going for. So I already told you I'm going to go for the Scathing Mage, because I really want to try that out. It seems interesting, and it seems like it would work quite well with a Nightblade build, because it only triggers off of direct critical damage. So it means it doesn't trigger off of dots or heals. So you have to crit something with a direct attack, which would be something like funnel health, or the bow that comes from Merciless Resolve, or Crippling Grasp, its first hit, execute, sap essence. Pretty much all my abilities would trigger this effectively. But the other set I want to go for is Moon Dancer, and I just beat the first boss today with the raid guild I'm in, Nightfighters. I'm running with the Australian team, or the oceanic team as they call themselves, and we beat the first boss in the first encounter, and I got first the breeches and then the gloves, and then from the weekly I got an Inferno Staff here. Inferno Staff looks pretty nice. Like, I really like the dark blue glow, but I would probably not use it. Like, I'm gonna go for the armor pieces, because otherwise I would need to have a Resto Staff of the same set, so it would constantly trigger. But let me just show you the Moon Dancer stats here. So you can see it gives max magicka, and then Minor Slayer. I can just show you this buff here. It actually shows up in your active effects. If you scroll down, you see Minor Slayer. Your attack steal 5% more to boss monsters. It's quite nice. I really like that. But again, boss monsters are only actual bosses, which means for a lot of fights you won't actually get that bonus. But what really makes this set incredibly good is the 4-piece, which is spell damage, and then the 5-piece, which either gives you 432 spell damage or 432 magic recovery when you synergize. And this effect lasts for 30 seconds, which is crazy. I mean, you synergize it once and you either get a lot of magic recovery or a lot of spell damage. It's just incredibly good, I think. What else? Right, you can see I'm using a Master's Eye Staff here. I don't have an Inferno Staff that is, let's see, where do I put them? Like, I don't have an Inferno Staff that's sharpened. I have one that's precise, but sharpen is the best thing to go for with Master Staffs. Sharpen gives you more damage. The precise is extra crit, but crit doesn't really help as much as sharpen does. Like, sharpen is spell penetration and armor penetration, which is really good to have on weapons, I think. That's why you, for example, if you go for a crafted weapon, you would go for Nirnhound. Okay, so yeah, let me show you like the weave that you should do to trigger the Molekina. And also, I want to reiterate how important it is to always have Merciless Resolve going, because it increases your overall damage by 8% for 20 seconds when you activate it. So you see here, Merciless Resolve. Here, Minor Berserk, that's the buff. That increases all your damage. And basically, you want to keep this up all the time. You also want to try and keep up Degeneration. You see, one has a 20-second cooldown, or duration, I mean. The other has a 15-second almost. You also want to keep up your Piercing Mark on boss monsters. And Crippling Grasp. This, I mean, it's kind of hard to sort of figure out when you need to do this, and I still need to, you know, practice like when I would use certain skills. So what I usually do is I'll start using Merciless Resolve, then I'll use my Degeneration, then I'll trigger the bow, and after Degeneration I would use, you know, Crippling Grasp. Then I trigger the bow, and then Crippling Grasp again, and then, you know, rebuff Merciless Resolve, Crippling Grasp, and then Degeneration. Just keep doing that. Another thing before I actually show off the weave here is that when you're fighting a single enemy, if you can get close to them, the Soul Harvest will actually be better. Like, it will give you more damage. Because if you look at the effect, it says ravage an enemy with a spinning attack, dealing about 15,000 magic damage and increasing your damage against them by 20%. Now, this damage increase does stack with the Minor Berserk, so that's like, if you have these two going at the same time, that's 28% increased damage. And I've had my Assassin's Will, the bow that comes from this, I've had it hit for something like 45,000 damage. So it's quite crazy. Anyway, so let me show you the weave you want to do to trigger the Molekina, guys. Or the Overkill, as it's called. You want to first do a light attack, then Strife, then a light attack, and that basically just triggers that. See there, that was... how much was that? 24. Oh yeah, I forgot to trigger my my Degeneration. That does do quite a lot more damage as well. Let's find another one of these. Actually, so let's pretend this is an actual boss. You know, I'd also have Siphoning Strikes going. Whoops, I killed it. Oh man. I'll try without Crippling Grasp this time. I kind of want to get a really high crit out of the Assassin's Will. Just so you can see. Okay. Do that. That. And you kind of have to be patient with this weave. See, 22k non-crit. It's pretty nice. Yeah, but you kind of have to be patient with the weave because otherwise it won't trigger. Let me show you if I just find another one of these. So I'll activate this thing. If I spam my strife too much, you could see my light attacks barely go off. Sometimes it will still count them as light attacks. So you look here, it actually says I hit him 5 times with a light attack, but you don't even see the animation half the time. And something I really like about the thrust staff is that you can actually hear quite clearly when you trigger it, like when you hit something with a light attack. So you have to be kind of patient because otherwise your merciless resolve won't actually trigger that often. How much was that? Let's see. 25k non-crit. I was kind of hoping it would crit. Oh yeah, another thing. I swapped out my Mundus Stone with the Shadow because the Shadow makes your crit do a lot more. And when you have, let's see here. When you have, where is it? Hemorrhage, you get a lot more as well. And you can see on one bar I have Piercing Mark, and the other I have Merciless Resolve. Actually, I have three of these assassination abilities, but basically Hemorrhage increases the damage of your critical strikes by 10%, and that stacks with the Shadow Stone and gives you quite a lot. Plus, if you remember, I showed you my champion points last time, and I put a lot of points into Elfborn, which is crit as well. So just having like all this crit damage is extremely nice, I think. And it just gives you some really high crits on a lot of abilities. You can see with my Molekina proc, the funnel health at least hits for 16k. I hadn't buffed up with degeneration then, but if I had, it would have hit for about 17. Let's see if we can get a crit here. Oh, doesn't seem to crit for me. It's kind of annoying. Oh yeah, another thing. So this week here, after the 4th of April, is the 2nd anniversary of ESO. So you should go to the Crown store and get your free Jubilee cake. It just gives you basically a very simple quest to go get some ingredients for this cook, basically, or chef, I should say. If you're in Daggerfall Covenant territory, the chef will be right here. And let's see, in AD territory, he should be down here, I think. And in EP territory, he should be in Volkogard, and he should be down here somewhere. So yeah, you should go get that, because even though the special effect it has, where you can trigger it to get 100% extra experience, even though that only lasts until the, I think, 10th of April, so Sunday, even though it only lasts until then, you will have the momentum forever. It just won't have any effect after the 10th of April. But you should get it, and it's really good, you know, if you wanna level up an alt during this week here, because 100% extra XP is extremely nice. Okay, I'm just gonna give this one last try and see if I can trigger this what's it called? This Assassin's Will, and get it to give me a ridiculous proc. Oh, 28k. I feel like for some reason it's doing a lot less than usual, and I'm not sure why. Usually it will hit for somewhere between 35 to 42k damage when it crits, but you can see that one only hit for 28k. So I'm not really sure why that is. But yeah, so this was just like a very quick overview of the changes I've made to the build. I feel this is like these changes here make the build even better, and I feel like it's already really simple and easy to use. So with these changes here, it's just going to be even better. Like if you have the the gear, the master or maelstrom weapons, the maelstrom staves would be better than the master staves. But if you have that gear, it's gonna be a straight boost to your DPS. So that's a good thing to strive for if you don't already have the gear. And if you do have it, this is just a change you can make to get even more out of your build. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. I know I just ended the video, but I did kind of want to show you this this clear the first boss that I did. I think it's quite an interesting boss fight. My favorite one in the new trial is definitely the what's it called? The second pair of bosses. And you can see I just accidentally died there. I don't think I was close enough to healing. Well, to getting healed. Basically, you want to sort of, when you get that shield phase, you want to sort of, stand in a way that you don't overlap the circles. And this fight is quite tough because if you just saw that right there, he tosses out these orbs, and when it hits people, they get cursed and then slowly die, as the person before me. So this fight is a lot about resting other people as well, which is kind of funny. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to do this, without a single death. It would be very, very difficult, I think. There is an achievement to get 0 deaths in here, to get a completion run with that. But yeah, I'm not sure how people would manage that. You can see here, this is another one of his mechanics where you get behind a pillar to not get one shot. You see there's a bunch of ads coming out as well, which is why we start tossing out AoEs here. And the boss is within execute phase, but he has such a ridiculous amount of health that that executing is still gonna take a while. So you can see he has about 7 million health left. But this is what I've been talking about, in the previous video, where you have a fight with bosses that have so much health. You can see the main tank went down here. But with bosses that have so much health that the execute phase lasts for a very long time, which will, when you have impale as you execute, will make your DPS go really high. You see here, I use my soul harvest to increase my damage done, and then just keep spamming executes. You can see they hit for over 30k when they crit, which is quite nice. So you get to show off some pretty numbers, when you're executing a lot. But yeah, I thought this fight was really cool. Like, it was really nice to finally beat it. This was our 5th or 6th attempt, I think. Anyway, now it's really time to end the video. See ya.